What is vertical launch angle? Well, vertical launch angle is measured in degrees when the golf ball separates from the club face and passes through the launch window. It tells us the angle at which the ball begins its flight. Now, the actual impact loft on the club is a key determinant, but the software measures the launch of the ball independent from the impact loft. That separation between club and ball information is what's going to give Foresight technology the most accurate information when it comes to ball launch. Let's take a quick look at this animation, and then we're going to come back and learn a few tricks that you can apply to help control your launch angle. Now, vertical launch angle is one of the simplest golf ball measurements to understand, but let's talk about how we take that measurement and actually apply it to hit better golf shots. Now, the first thing I'd like everyone to understand is a trend that we see from the best ball strikers in the world, the guys that play week in, week out on the PGA Tour. When we look at them hitting the golf ball off the ground, we see an average vertical launch angle of about 50% of the static loft of their golf club. So what that means is that if their 8-iron has a loft of, let's say, 40 degrees, the average launch angle we would expect to see would be 20 degrees. And that's a trend that works all the way from pitching wedge right up to the longest iron in the golf bag. But even within that, we see subtle deviations based on the spin rate of the player. So a starting point for average spin rate, let's say again we're talking about an 8-iron, would be about 8,000 RPMs. 7,000 for a 7-iron, 6,000 for a 6-iron, and so on. If that player is consistently high spin, say more than 8,000 for an 8-iron, I would want to see that launch angle come down a little bit, because that spin is going to create more lift for the ball to climb to the same apex height. Now conversely, if that player was low spin and only had about 7,000 RPMs for their 8-iron, I would want to see a higher launch angle, because lower spin is going to be less lift. Now, the spin and the vertical launch angle work together to create landing angle. And we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes, but landing angle is the key determinant for having that golf ball stop as close as possible to where it lands when it hits the green. Apply that information on vertical launch angle, and you can fine-tune every club in your bag to help you start shooting lower scores immediately.